Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com. I'm here with the Aries October Horoscopes. It's a really big month this month. We've had a lot of retrograding planets, and this month 4 planets, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto, are all turning direct. Okay, so this is huge because it means that finally things start to move forward in life. We feel like we can get on with something. You know, it's been a time, it's been particularly difficult with COVID and everything going on the last 18 months or so. And finally we feel like something's happening. There's an opening up, there's a moving forward, a great surge of evolution in humanity are going to be affected, and we're going to feel it. And even if you don't regard yourself as intuitive, just being logical, you'll see governments talking about opening up, and especially here in Australia, preparing for new business, and you know, the economy surging forward and such like. The thing to remember though is what these planets represent, and Mercury is retrograde until the 18th, for example, and there can be miscommunications and problems with technology and travelling up to that date, plus a little bit of time after that, because there's a thing called a shadow period. Look at what Jupiter represents. Okay, it's a social planet, it's about society. And so there's an expansion in society. Again, this feeling of expanding, getting bigger, opening up, that sort of thing. Jupiter's also, you know, sometimes connected with legal things, spirituality, abundance. Everything that Jupiter touches grows. Then we have Saturn, which is about restrictions, limitations, governments, corporations, and the fact that, you know, it's moving forward again. We might start to see more, you know, expansion in governments. There might be more authority and restrictions in some ways, and then loosening up in another way. And then Pluto, the planet of life, death and rebirth, also moving forward. So there may be more deaths, there may be, you know, more businesses going down the tube, sadly to say, but those businesses can be born again and rebirth. Maybe they change their product line or something like that, start anew and do something different. Okay, so there's a lot going on this month. So just briefly, I like to draw 2 tarot cards as theme cards for the month. We'll have a look at your horoscope in depth, and then I'll do a psychic channeling at the end. If you're new, subscribe and be alive. Okay, so let's go to the board now, and there's some other good news here for you. There's a lovely little minor grand trine here. I know it's hard to see with all of the activity going on, but basically with this you'll see Neptune here in your 12th house. This is a very spiritual time for you, and it's in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces in your 12th. It's a highly spiritual time. Pluto here in Capricorn in your house of career or general life direction. Okay, so remember birth, death, rebirth with regard to career, and this is about getting on track with the career that makes your heart sing. If you've been doing some sort of job that you're doing for the money but it doesn't really suit you, you may well change this year coming up in 2022, but you'll get inklings of that this month. And then we have Venus over here in Scorpio in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio. So this is very intense feelings, especially around intimacy or perhaps shared resources, your money that you share with somebody else perhaps, you know, or shared possessions, that sort of thing. So all of these areas of life are working together for your greater good. Okay, so just remember that all things do work for good. And with those planets that turning direct, it's basically going to affect your marriage or your partnerships, legalities, perhaps your friends and groups, the people you associate with, your career or your true life's mission. So a lot of change happening this month, which might be a little bit scary, but it's also exciting. Okay, so all right, let's get on with the cards and see what the cards have to say. These two theme cards for the month, and we'll see what comes out. I'll go with that one on top, and then I'll close my eyes now. What do I see for Aries? Okay, so flights of steps in front of me. Yes, actions to be taken. Look, they're not too difficult. The steps are only maybe 5 inches, and so they're quite, you can undertake them. I won't say they're easy, but they're manageable. They're quite manageable. Okay, so ascending in consciousness means you've got more insight, your vibration is higher, you're taking action, you can get things done. I'm in an old house, it's an empty house, and walking up these steps, this could be your body, maybe you've had a clear out, or there's some sort of clear out that is that's coming. Watch the cakes with icing sugar, okay? So I see icing sugar being sprinkled on cakes. Watch your sugar level. Try not to eat too much sugar. The card that comes up is the Ten of Wands. This is the end of a cycle, which has been a bit of a burden. You can see she's carrying these 10 baseball bats here in a trailer. So she's taken action and she's still got action to take. But it is the end of something, so a new beginning is coming. A 10 is a 1 and a 0. So new beginnings after, a time of patiently waiting. A lot of green here for growth and expansion. She's wearing a green skirt. So making progress, and yes, it's still a burden, but the burden will soon be lifted. Okay, 10 of Wands. And the second theme for the month for you, awesome Aries. Oh, that one just popped out. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, it's the Three of Pentacles. This is about your money or your possessions, most probably. Some work, you're putting work into it. There's a degree of creativity here, a little bit of art and that sort of thing. Again, it's painstaking work. It is a bit of a burden, but there's a sense of achievement with it. So whether you're working or not, there are jobs you can do where you can get stuff done that are going to make you feel like you've really accomplished something, okay? Something worthwhile. As I said, Pentacles is often about money, but not always. And it could be something new, that you're earning a new technique or perhaps a new principle or something like that, but there is a reward for your labor coming. Okay, so that's the third. Three of Pentacles, the second card. Alrighty, so let's have a look at your horoscope. So I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. All right, change and excitement this month. A lot happening around shared intimacy and resources, and there's blessings there too for you. And these planets, Pluto, Venus, Neptune, the minor grand trine, which is going to help you out. All right, now the horoscope. Okay, so 29th of September to 3rd of October, Mercury conjuncts Mercury, and you could be feeling quite mentally alert, sharp and clear. You may find you have a better ability than usual to comprehend new concepts. Okay, that does relate a bit to this card here, a new technique or a new procedure to learn. You can articulate your ideas very well. You're also likely to be mentally quite curious, and it's a great time to make plans and strategies or begin a course of study. 2nd to the 5th of October sees Mars sextiling the Moon. You become fired up emotionally at this time, particularly about people, places or causes that have an attachment to your history or your past, such as your childhood school or your hometown. And you may be finding yourself a little bit more emotional or instinctive. That's fine. But there's sort of like this reinvigoration that's going on, especially with old projects and things like that, because Mercury often brings things from the past back when it's retrograde. You may hear about your school or your school friends. There might be a school reunion, for example. Something to do with your family home. The past could come back. Even an ex-lover could come back. If they are an ex, remember why they're an ex. 6th of October to the 5th of November, Venus moves into your 9th house here. So this is the house of the higher mind. You may be attracted to foreign cultures and art and people that are quite different to what you're used to. The exotic appeals to you more than the familiar. It's a great time for a vacation if you can travel. And if you're in Australia and overseas travel's not possible, perhaps you can just go away for the weekend and support the regional areas where, the cafes and the tourism area are having, problems since all of the lockdowns. So it does expand, Venus here does expand your life. It does it in a very smooth, sort of harmonious, peaceful way. So you could really enjoy going away for a quick break. 6th of October sees a new moon in your 8th house here. And so this brings new beginnings around jointly held resources and intimacy. And because Venus is there until the 6th, this could really be a wonderful time in your close relationships, especially if you have a relationship that's of a sexual nature or a romantic nature. It could be a wonderful time the first week of the month. Excellent also for getting in touch with your emotions, which are likely to be more intense than usual. But, on the practical things like money, do try to be objective. 11th to the 14th sees Mercury sextiling the moon. So you could be more inclined to talk about your feelings, your past and other personal matters. This helps trust in relationships, especially with women. You're also a sympathetic listener, drawing out other people's feelings and emotional experiences. And again, with Mercury, you may hear from someone from the past or reach out to someone you have history with. 13th of October to the 23rd of October, Mercury conjuncts Mars. You're likely to be quite definite and clear. People know exactly what you want. The downside is you might not be feeling very conciliatory, and do try to avoid stirring the pot yourself, because if you speak or act in haste now, that can be a cause for concern later on. 14th to the 22nd of October, Mercury opposition Chiron. It's a time where you're looking at your personal affairs. Health matters should be attended to. Take care and be a little bit cautious. Aries, sometimes you're a little bit impulsive, so try to think before you do anything or make important decisions. You could be feeling a little irritable under this influence. A past mistake may resurface and you'll have to deal with that. It's best if you're not rebellious at the moment or take unnecessary risks, okay? Misunderstandings are possible. Under Mercury retrograde, they're in fact likely. 20th of October sees a full moon here in your sign. You're likely to be feeling more perceptive and sensitive. You're easily affected by what's going on in your environment, but you can pick up the feelings and emotional currents of the other people around you. It's almost like being a little bit psychic or empathic. Being at home in a comfortable, supportive atmosphere is probably best for you now, okay? Try to be logical, again, about things like money, especially, with Uranus here. Watch your money. 13th of October to the 23rd of October, Mercury conjuncts Mars. Oh, I just said that one, didn't I? Where are we up to? 20th to the 23rd, Mars squares Pluto. Your drive for personal power, achievement or control is very strong. Do watch that you're not willful, domineering or compulsive, because there could be some ego conflicts or power struggles. So try to avoid that. And try to avoid pushing yourself or others too hard. It's like you might have a job, you want to get on with something, but you push yourself too hard. 21st of October to the 21st of November, Sun in your 8th house up here, which is fabulous. This is bringing your joint finances into view and also your emotional life. It is a great time to clarify your expectations and take care of legal business, insurance, wills and so on. There may be the desire to intensify intimacy and honesty in your closest relationships. 28th of October to the 31st, Mars sextiles your MC. You could be working energetically with a clear objective in mind, advancing your own professional goals and enlisting the support of other people. Superiors or people in authority respond favourably now to your confidence and willingness to take a risk or deal with an issue in a new way. If you're not working, this can also affect your life direction in a positive way. 28th of October to the 13th of December, Mars in your 8th house up here. So just watch for disputes over shared resources or joint finances. But this does give you a lot of ambition to improve your situation together. Perhaps you find a new business partner or somebody that you can join forces with in order to achieve something of a financial nature. Okay, your desires and passions are likely to be stirred up now, and this can be fabulous for sexual relationships. Now, from the 9th to the 29th of November, Uranus squares the moon. So it's like your subconscious could be venting. So do watch for impatience and outbursts of emotions. It's like you want to break free from a stifling situation. And there could be sort of overwhelming feelings that come up in this time. And yeah, try to write things down. So that's a way, or talk about these things. That's a way of venting, so it doesn't cause any sort of particular problem later down the track. On the upside, you're likely to deal with some old habits and patterns that no longer suit you. They've served their purpose and now it's time to let them go. Any habits that are restricting or limiting your life are likely to be in your mind to get rid of. Stop smoking, stop overeating, improve your diet, lower your alcohol consumption, whatever, those sorts of things. And it's important that you find new healthy habits to replace them with. So you might be wondering, for example, if you eat junk food, what you're going to eat instead of junk food, and you go to carrots and celery and dip or something, rather than eating junk food. Okay. 16th of October to the 19th of February 2022 already. Chiron opposition Sun. So Chiron is the wounded healer, and so you might find that you're a little bit sensitive on some points. Personal or work situations may come up to make you sort of become aware that maybe you're not in the ideal situation that you'd like to be, and especially as I was saying about Pluto here. Pluto is a very slow sort of moving planet, so it's in this 10th house for a long time. But you'll be reminded, put it that way, there could be a confrontation or an event where your desires or your ambitions are challenged. And so, just be aware, just to be a little bit cautious about, if you listen to yourself, you'll pick up the vibe, and then there's no need to go through a confrontation if you pick it up in your mind, and you can therefore avoid it. So whether it's a job, a relationship or a personal goal, this is a time of readjustment of old behaviour patterns, and it's going to allow new opportunities to come in that favour the support of other people. So in other words, other people will help you if you adjust your attitude. Okay, so that's your horoscope for this month. Bear those 2 cards in mind. A lot going on, awesome Aries. So important to think about things. Now, I'm just going to close my eyes and see what else I can tell you for this month, October 2021. Okay, this card here that I talked about, the 10 of Wands, I'm actually seeing like a garage with a garage door with this woman with a wheelbarrow out the front of the garage. So she's done most of the work, and she's at the stage now where she just has to put the wheelbarrow away, but the door hasn't opened yet, but it will open. And then she's going to get cleaned up and, rest. And she needs the rest after everything she's been through. I feel like this is you. You've done a lot of the work already. There's just a little bit more to go. You'll clean up your act. You'll get rid of the habits that no longer suit you. And this is all about you expanding your life. And I must say, I do feel it's in another direction for some of you. So yes, certain things will move from your life, they'll pass from your life, and it's actually a good thing. There's a lot of flowers here that I can see when I say that, and it's like the flowers are interwoven around a woman's hands. This says to me that happiness comes from doing what you actually do with your hands. So it's not about sitting home and watching TV all day. It's about actually achieving things will bring happiness to you. Particularly, I see pink flowers, a lot of pink flowers. So this pink is about self-love and the feelings of respect you have for yourself. Okay, so that's it. Awesome Aries. I hope this is useful for you. If you're new, subscribe and hit that notification bell. I would really appreciate that. Leave a like and a comment and share on your socials. Okay, that would be fabulous. I'm growing my small channel. All right, most importantly, have a wonderful month, everyone, and I shall see you all again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.